On June 24, 2011, KABC radio host Peter Tilden interviewed Senior Vice President of East West Bank, Don Dan, and talked about East West Bank's commitment in supporting the financing of green energy projects and its important role in the development of Depot Park, the largest private solar power project in Sacramento.
President Obama gave a big speech on troop withdrawal, and he also mentioned renewable energy, and everybody knows we've got to talk about renewable energy, but you know what? There's no loans. You can't get money. A lot of businesses would do it to save money. So I thought maybe we could talk to somebody who knows a bit about that. His name happens to be Don Dan. He's the Senior Vice President of East West Bank, and he leads the Emerging Markets Division. Big job. His mom must be so proud. Now, Don, I know one of your biggest jobs is renewable energy. Why renewable energy?
Well, first of all, it's very simple. We truly believe that, we, in our small way, help the environment. We think that, in addition to helping the environment, renewable energy projects do create a lot of jobs, and that's what we need now.
And that's where we're going. We're trying to get off of our oil habit and try and look to the future. Now, you guys promote it in a big way, especially here in California. You do a lot of projects, right?
That is correct. Although, if there are good projects, we are open to looking at projects outside of California.
And anywhere?
That is correct. In the U.S. and the state of Hawaii.
Now, what do you play? What kind of role does the bank play in moving these projects forward?
Well, first of all, the way we look at it is that we like to be the facilitator. So, we bank a number of panel makers. We bank a number of investment vehicles that are looking to invest into the projects. We bank the so-called EPC firms or the firms that are constructing these projects. So to the extent that, if a project developer came along and they need help, as their bank, we would look at ways and how do we go about in helping them to successfully get a project constructed.
All right, Don, tell me about this. This is really cranking. It's development Depot Park up in Sacramento. It's the largest private solar power project in Sacramento. Tell us about that project and your involvement.
Well, what happened was, the project's been ongoing for 2 years before we came to the picture. And the challenge on that project was, number one, the financing. The developer needed to find partners that would be willing to provide financing because the Depot Park was declared as a Superfund site. And so a lot of the financial institutions are very leery about looking at projects that are built in the so-called brownfields. That's number one. Number two.
What does it explain that? Stop right there. What do you mean the brownfields?
Brownfields are generally areas that have considered as, Superfund site that used to have a lot of the so-called activities that resulted in contaminated, toxic type chemicals that have seeped into the ground.
So you help rehab these areas?
One of the things that we did was we provided the construction financing, and we helped pull the partners along to, such as the manufacturer of the panels that help invest it into the project to make it a reality.
Explain to somebody, because we've got to run, but Depot Park, what does it look like now? What is it so they can get a sense of it?
Depot Park is a business park that got a lot of tenants, including, for example, if you were to visit the Depot Park today, you'll find, DMV has a facility there. It got a bunch of manufacturing companies inside the park. It's one of the largest privately run business parks in the Sacramento area.
And it's all renewable?
It's the renewal, not necessarily. This particular project provides electricity to the tenants inside the park.
Got it. That's pretty cool.
I think so.
I would think so too. Your mother must be very proud.
Well, I'm hoping she is.
Don Dan, Senior Vice President, East West Bank. and talking about their commitment to building environmentally friendly energy projects, and it could be yours. You should check them out. And thanks for what you're doing. It's really cool. This initiative is really cool.
Thank you very much for giving us the opportunity.
Absolutely, man. I'm going to renew my vows with you.
I'm sorry?
I'll renew my vows with you because you got me into renewable.
Because I truly believe in this thing, and it's not just myself. I think a whole bank, from our chairman downward, my boss included. I think we are passionately believing in what we do, and sometimes there's the economics in it, but at the end of the day, if you're not passionate about what you do,
then why do it? I hear you, man. Well, thank you, Don.
Well, thank you.
We'll talk again.
All right.
All right.
Bye-bye.
See ya.
I just want to mention our conversation with Dan Don was a sponsored conversation.